Now, Turkey has seen a rise in bombings in recent times. Earlier this month, 11 people were killed when a car bomb went off in a busy tourist district in Istanbul. In October 2015, more than 100 people were killed when two suicide bombers blew themselves up in Turkey's capital, Ankara. For more on these increasing attacks in Turkey, in studio with me now, Nicholas Rodrigo. He's a researcher from the Afro-Middle East Center. Thanks for your time this morning, Nicholas. Many are describing this attack as being at the heart of Turkey, given where it has taken place at the international airport. I mean, what do you make of that statement?
Well, indeed, it is a very symbolic attack. And you mentioned the attack on Sultanahmet Square and the Istiklal Street, which are both in the center of Turkey and represent to the world Turkey's pluralistic society and its sort of a willingness to attract tourists to see its historic sites. So it is a very symbolic attack, and the airport must be seen within this context. Ever since the Justice and Development Party in Turkey won elections and have won successive elections since 2002, they've been trying to project an inclusive, business-friendly image to the world. And the airport is essentially a means to do this, a means to sort of be not only a gateway to Turkey, but also a gateway to the broader Muslim world as well. And one of the industries which is most emblematic of this is Turkish Airlines, which has grown exponentially in the last 10 years and making about I got the number here, it's a 1.7 billion, profit in the first quarter of this year. And I've been doing commercial enterprises with Barcelona Football Club and so on and so forth. So the Islamic State is essentially trying to portray to the world that they are willing to take on Turkey and this project of inclusiveness and business-friendly initiatives of the West to sort of say that it is us, the Muslim world, against the West, and you're not welcome here.
Is this then, the commentary that we're seeing, which kind of paints a picture of this being a declaration of war between ISIS, Turkey, and then, of course, you also have the US getting involved there. Is it as clear as that?
So the Islamic State have been at war, technically, with the US since around 2014, 2013. After the killings of numerous US journalists and aid workers in Iraq and Syria. And Turkey, as a NATO member and ally of the US, has been drawn into this war. But they've also been at war with IS because of skirmishes on the border and IS's goals of destabilizing the whole region to bring in the West to fight them. So they have been at war technically for a long time, but this will just heighten the hostilities between IS and Turkey and present Turkey, of course, with more security dilemmas that they have.
What will this do for the Turkish economy, especially business-wise? You talk about the airport really also being at the epicenter of the economy because it allows for trade in and out of Turkey. What does this then do?
The Turkish tourism industry has been tanking for some while now due to security concerns. So last month it fell by 34%, and this is the largest fall that the tourism industry has recorded since the 90s. And in the 90s, Turkey was embroiled in a very, very bitter conflict with the Kurdistan Workers' Party, a Kurdish militant group in the east. So it is very troubling and very debilitating for the Turkish tourism industry, which took a blow last year after relations with Moscow sunk after a downing of a Russian jet by the Turkish Air Force. So it is very troubling for the Turkish tourism industry and economy on the whole as well.
Nicholas, remind us again why Turkey is such a target for the IS.
So there's multiple of reasons why it's a target. And firstly, as I mentioned, what Turkey symbolizes to both the Middle East and to the West and Europe in general as sort of a gateway into the region. But also Turkey is looking to engage in the European Union with negotiations over deals over the migration crisis, the refugee crisis, a limited amount of free movement for Turkish citizens, and IS wants to destabilize or scupper these talks as well. And by doing this, they're hoping that Ankara will promote more draconian anti-terror legislation, which will crack down not only on Islamic groups within Turkey, but also pro-democracy groups that have been agitating against Ankara's increasingly dictatorial policies. And this will embolden IS even more.
What kind of retaliation then can we expect from Turkey and America in this regard?
So internally, you can expect there to be an increasing number of anti-legislation laws, which will be placed on Turkish citizens across the board, regardless of their political affiliation. And you can expect to see a heightened military presence along the southern border with Syria, and the flow of refugees coming from Syria will be more tightly monitored by Turkish security personnel. You can also expect there to be a possible olive branch extended to Russia with regards to coordination over fighting IS. That's not definite, but I imagine that could happen over the next couple of weeks.
Just very briefly, Nicholas, there are a number of South Africans who are living and working in Turkey. It's very accessible to the South African population. Should people here at home be worried about their loved ones who are in Turkey? To what extent should they be?
I don't think there's space to be worried too much at the moment, despite the increasing number of militant attacks. These issues, you know, we have attacks in Nairobi, and this is the context of the world that we're living in at the moment. It's very hard to say when the next one will be, but it's a very volatile situation for Turkey, and the areas that are most heavily guarded will be those where tourists frequent. So over the next couple of months, you can expect to see a heavily militarized presence on the streets of Istanbul.
All right, that's how we leave it for this morning. And Nicholas Rodrigo, he's from the Afro Middle East Center.